Hey Forge followers, it's Maria here from Forge Recruitment. I hope you're doing well and having a lovely week. I've been talking to a lot of candidates recently who are going through a very tough and emotional time caused by the pandemic. Some of them are being laid off, others have friends, colleagues, or family members who are being laid off. It's also been a very difficult time for employers because they're forced to lay off some of their employees. This is why I wanted to do a video today to discuss how to deal with stress caused by the pandemic. Here are some things you can do that will help you to battle stress in these difficult times and find the best in the situation. The most important thing to do first is to try to identify the source of your stress. Sometimes we're being burdened by so many causes at the same time that are making us feel emotional that it's difficult to pinpoint what the main reason for our stress is. Once we are able to identify it, we actually can take a rational approach and then make a plan on how to resolve it. The second thing to try to focus on is to not dwell on the situation. No matter how difficult the problem is and how overwhelming, if we are in it, we're not going to be able to resolve it. This is why it's important to try to separate yourself from the situation and try to observe it from the side, almost like an observer. This is when you'll be able to take a rational approach and then resolve it. When the problem seems really overwhelming, another thing you can do is to try to divide it into different parts. Maybe you can't resolve the problem directly, but if you can resolve at least one of the parts, then you will feel already like you're on the way to resolving it, and that will make you feel more confident in yourself. Another thing you can do to try to find a resolution to your issue is to write things down. Sometimes when you write your thoughts down, you actually get a much better understanding of what's going on. Same thing goes for actually talking to a friend about it, talking to a parent, talking to a colleague. When you share your thoughts with somebody, you get clarity about what's the next step that you need to take. Finally, what's really important to do is to actually focus on yourself. Sometimes when you're trying to resolve a really complex issue, you get overwhelmed by it and you forget to take care of yourself. The first thing you need to do is to try to stay well, eat well, sleep well, do some physical activity, and make sure that you also take on a hobby. In this difficult time, it's important that we see the result of our work. Very often we're very busy with doing intellectual work only or just working on our computer. That's why if you find yourself doing a hobby that actually produces something that's palpable, then you actually can see the result of all your hard work. And another thing you can do to make the best out of the pandemic is to try to improve yourself as well. Focusing on taking a course and then receiving your certificate for it will also make you feel successful and satisfied that you are growing and developing even in these hard times. These are just some things that I do when I'm in a very stressful situation, but I'm sure there's a lot more things that are out there that we can discuss. So feel free to share my video and also comment below. I would love to hear back from you. In the meantime, let's see this as an opportunity to focus on ourselves. And remember, spending time on yourself is a time well spent.